Welcome to your reading for those of you born between 23 August and 1st of September. We entered the Virgo period, and the first decan is sub-ruled by the Sun. The Virgo as such is ruled by Mercury. Cards associated with Mercury, we have here the Magician, strong magic, but in the same time not to forget that Mercury is also ruling Gemini. We have Virgo as a kind of complement to Gemini. And then for Virgo we have the associated card from Tarot, the Hermit. Virgo is very much about responsibility, work, duty, like the sixth house, service to others. If we look at this beautiful card from the Astro deck, we see this woman, goddess, holding a sheaf of crops. It's about the harvest. We need first the seed, and then seed has to grow. It takes time. So you need to organize a lot in order to get the harvest. And that's also this sign that asks you to be more specific, to examine your situation, the patterns, what you need to release, what you need to compost, and then also to save the seeds for the next year that you can plant next year. So very much associated with the harvest. For the Sun, what the energy of Sun, what it brings here in this sign, I am the center of the universe, and so you are, is enhancing the qualities of the person from this first decan. And the card associated, it's the Eight of Pentacles. We see here an apprentice. He has here the model. He is working full of attention. So it's also called the Lord of Prudence. And this is one of the cardinal virtues. And interesting enough, the other virtues are already present in the major arcana, the Temperance, the Justice, and the Strength. But this one, it's only in this card, in the minor arcana. So it's something that has to be developed only by practice. Once you develop a skill and you work with perseverance, then you also refine your character. If we look at the card before, we see that he is paying attention to his work, but also he likes to present his work, so for people to enjoy it. If we look from the other side, I like this card because somebody is also exercising the skill in another direction, but we can also say like that person makes a statue for him. We like to say in my country that don't believe that somebody is going to make you a statue. So if you work too hard, this person is working more because he also enjoying, not because he has to, it's also because he likes to. And in this way, by working with this type of mentality, it also makes him improving his character. And if we see the card, after he finds a place where to put the result of his art, I will say that he works together with the other one, with the sculptures. The moment you become a master, you work maybe with others together and you create beautiful pieces of art. From Virgo, we have the qualities of practicality, patience, consciousness, detail-oriented, meticulous, taking your time, very important qualities. And from the Sun, of course, the influence of energy, the enlightenment, the optimism, and the fact that there is an opportunity to use the results of your work. It's his choice what he does with the result of his work. So it's not because he feels obliged to do it in a way, a sign also of integrity. From this funny kawaii tarot, Eight of Coins, and it's about having skills already, but you can always get better, get a start. The idea is that we want to become masters, but we need to remember we are already masters, but even a master wants to improve and wants to learn more. From the affirmation tarot, this other funny, I was looking for more funny cards today. a very big goal that has to be achieved, maybe start a new career, learning a new skill, of course. And anyway, you try to become a better version of you. And the universe is going to appreciate that. It's very much also about the intention. If the intention is this, to become a better version of you. Don't forget to find a flow in wherever you do with this Eight of Pentacles. Even ask for help if there are new territory, and realize that mistakes are possible, but this is also how you learn. And it's about kind of effortless flow, like we see here with this yellow ribbon, which also connects us to the solar plexus. So when you need the energy of the sun, this is the solar plexus, then of course connect with that part of you, because we have the energy in us. We sometimes look for the energy outside ourselves, but we already have it. It's just a matter of knowing how to get to it and use it, and realizing that actually nobody can take that energy from you. If your chakras are aligned, if you are aware of your energetical body and you are taking care of it, you find energy for whatever task you decide to do and get focus. Remember that you can always ask for assistance, ask for help from others. So you are always a teacher for some and a student in the same time. These two together, they create the harmony. They can perform in public. In art, there is no age limits. Wherever you want to start learning something, just go for it. You still have enough time. If you have a good teacher and you have perseverance, age is not an issue, because you still have the energy that is needed. If we look at Lumina Tarot, I like this idea with hunting your zone of genius, getting to know your sun energy. You see, you can see it here as the sun energy, but you can also see it as the honey. You really have a strong foundation internally and externally. And then if you step further into your inner self, higher self, your skill area, if you know yourself, if you understand, if you love yourself, I even have this idea of a program called KALY, knowing, accepting and loving yourself, then you know what you can improve, where you can really become a master. You will get the success and the satisfaction and the rewards that you look if you are working with the tools that you have, with the skills that belongs to you, that you came to experience in this lifetime. When you are not clear where the next step is, what part of a bookshop would you be aligned to? So where do you look for more information and for help and for assistance? So I find this beautiful card together with the sun. If we look at the beautiful creature, we go more in the spiritual area. We have this young astronomer and apprentice trying to create the universe. She has all the tools. She tries again and again with everything that she learned to improve our mission, our Mother Earth, and she knows that we will manage. But for now, she needs to maybe isolate, try again and again up to the moment where everything she knows will meet her expectation. I believe that, especially with the solar flares and all the energies, we are now creating some big movements in the universe. And because we had a lot of animals, we are somehow with this energy of purity. Virgo also, if we think virgin, it's not necessarily purity or sexual, but it's the purity of intention, and that we can find in animals. We have here the beaver, reminds us to really love what you do and flowing with your creation and celebrate and be proud of your work. The 8 is a symbol of expanding and of course using your energy. We even see here the 8, the infinity sign. So if you turn it 90 degrees, the 8 becomes the infinity sign. So everything is possible. It's up to you. I look to initiation into the stars, and the number 8 card from the Master of Stargates was Ra, the Lord of the Sun, that reminds us to celebrate the fire in us. The more you center and you ground yourself, it was also an earth sign, the more you will remember who you really are. And then from the doorways to stargates, we have this rainbow people. Remember that we are connected between each other, so we are the rainbow people, but also with other star systems. And if we really master our skill, we remember who we are, we really are creating these beautiful sacred geometry patterns. The more and more we will be connected with our brothers and sisters. We are all one. And I couldn't let go because the card associated with 8 of coins from this beneath the moon, it's the story of 6 swans, and it's one of my favorite story. I think I heard it first time when I was quite small. It made a big impression on me. I even went to Germany, in the town where you have a statue dedicated to this. It's a German fairy tale. So there was once a king whose wife died, and then he had 6 sons and a single daughter. Soon he married a mysterious woman from the forest who was jealous on the sons, and then she put a curse on them, and they transformed all of them in swans. The princess didn't believe the story that the sons died, so she ran away in the woods, and there she found out from a fairy that her brothers had been cursed. But she can break the spell if she made for each of them a shirt of stinging needles, and she is not allowed to speak while making them. I think my grandparents used to have at that time needles in the garden, and I think being small I was quite affected by them. So the fact that you had to work with them and don't even mention why, I think it left such a big impression on me. The swan brothers found their sister, and learning of her task, flew her across the sea to a new land where they built her a small home. There she worked tireless for years, picking the needles with her bare hands, crushing them with her bare feet, and weaving and sewing the shirts all by herself without uttering a single word. One day, as she was working, the kid of the country fell in love with her beauty. He took her to his castle where she lived under his protection, but despite of whatever he gave her, she couldn't say anything, just smile from time to time. He was very much in love with her, but his mother was trying for a way to get rid of her. She accused her of being a witch, of course, because she was doing this kind of work. And the princess could not say anything to prove her innocence, and then she was sentenced to be burned. She realized that she needs to finish as soon as possible the skirts, and she just had all of them except one sleeve. And before she thought she's going to die, the swan appeared. She gave each one the shirt, and they transformed back into men, except the youngest, who still had a wing of a swan. And then when she was finally free to speak, she could tell her story, and people were very much impressed by her work. And then, of course, she married the king, and they lived happily ever after. Wow. So not only that she was improving her skill, but not even talking about this, and that's also the connection with the hermit, that we need to work in silence, and we don't get any appreciation for our skills, but trust that the results of our work and the results of our consistency and meticulosity and conscious work, it will bring good results. Hope you enjoy your reading, and for all of you, happy birthday.